The Dallas Stars and the Vegas Golden Knights will be facing off in the Western Conference Finals. What's my prediction and who will win? Let's break down each of these teams' journeys and go from there. The Dallas Stars would end up beating the Minnesota Wild in the first round in 6 games, 4-2, to go and play Seattle in the next round, and would end up beating them in Game 7 to go into the Western Conference Finals. In comparison, the Vegas Golden Knights in their first round would face the Winnipeg Jets, beating them in 5 games, would move on to play the Edmonton Oilers and beat them in 6. How do each of these teams compare? Let's break down the forwards, the defense, and the goaltending, and we'll go from there. I'll start off with the Dallas Stars. Up front, leading the way is Roope Hintz. In 13 games played, 9 goals, 10 assists for 19 points. He has been fantastic, and when he has had an off game, he's always bounced back in the next one. Second in scoring has to be Jason Robertson. While struggling to score goals, is still being a playmaker, 2 goals, 10 assists for 12 points. But I would be remiss not to mention Joe Pavelski. 8 games played, 8 goals, 2 assists for 10 points. This guy is an impact player, and he's a 38-year-old playing like he's in his mid-20s. They have 9 forwards on this roster having 6+ points, so it shows the great depth scoring that they do have. Let's go into the defense. You have Miro Heiskanen leading the way in 13 games played, 0 goals, 9 assists for 9 points, and a staggering time on ice of 28 minutes and 15 seconds. This guy has been a horse, and if you are going down on his side, good luck getting around him clean. He has been very effective in both ends, and this guy is a stud on the back end. Not to be outdone, Ryan Sutter has done decently enough as his partner. And I'd also have to mention, Thomas Harley has impressed me. A young defenseman at the age of 21 in 13 games played, 1 goal, 6 assists for 7 points. He has held his own, and if you're a Stars fan, you gotta be excited for his future in this franchise. For me overall, this decor has been respectable enough. While not perfect, have done good enough to get the job done. And let's get into the goaltending. Jake Oettinger, their leading man, 13 games played, a 2.75 goals against average, and a .903 save percentage for an 8-5 record. Oettinger's just got to be more consistent. There has been games where he has been dominant. Game 7 for Seattle, he only let up 1 goal with 18 seconds left in regulation. He made all the saves he needed to secure a Game 7 win. But there has been moments in this series he's lit up some weak goals. The defense in front of him has not been perfect. I'm not blaming all the goals just purely on Oettinger, but for them to go to the Stanley Cup final, he needs to bring his A game, because when he is on his game, he is one of the best goalies on the planet. Now, that's the Dallas Stars. Let's get into the Vegas Golden Knights. Jack Eichel, man, the $10 million man himself. 11 games played, 6 goals, 8 assists for 14 points, leading the charge up front for the Knights. Second in scoring, the reliable Mark Stone with 11 games played, 5 goals, 7 assists for 12 points. What sticks out to me, just like it does with the Stars, is their depth scoring they're seeing up front. Now, I use 6 points as a metric for the Stars due to their games played. It's going to be 5 points for the Knights because they have played 2 less games. 9+ forwards have 5 or more points for the Golden Knights. You're getting quality scoring throughout. And a couple players that have stuck out to me has been Chandler Stevenson and William Karlsson. The Knights have one of the deepest center cores in the postseason. William Karlsson was all over McDavid and made his life a living hell. And Stevenson's a quality center that is very difficult to match up against. So the forward core is pretty deep. Let's go into the defense. Alex Pietrangelo, 10 games played, 0 goals, 7 assists for 7 points, with over 24 minutes time on ice. There's a lot of depth here with the Golden Knights decor. Martinez, McNabb, Theodore, with Whitecloud and Haig, they're all quality defenders. And they're not just relying on one guy to carry the load. Let's get into the goaltending. Adin Hill has come onto the scene and has done really well. Brossoit did decent enough until he got injured, but Adin Hill in 5 games played has a 2.20 goals against average, a .934 save percentage, and a 3-1 record. In that Game 6 against the Edmonton Oilers, the only reason they didn't go back to Vegas for a Game 7 was Adin Hill. He was locked in and making some spectacular saves. This guy has always had the talent. It's just taken him some time to figure it out. He's electric in net. And I'll be honest with you, it's just staggering how much depth the Knights find in their goaltending position. So what is my prediction and who do I think will win? This is going to be very, very similar to the Eastern Conference, but there's a few key takeaways that will make my decision. I think up front, the scoring is relatively similar. I would say the best offensive player in this series would be Roope Hintz, but Jack Eichel is not that far behind. I think if we're going to compare both offenses, they're pretty much at the same level. Now let's get into the decor. This is where I think the Knights do have an advantage. I do like some of the players here on the Stars, like Heiskanen, Sutter, Colin Miller. Harley has shown to be quality. I just don't think they're better depth-wise than the Golden Knights. They have Martinez, Pietrangelo, McNabb, Theodore, Haig, and Whitecloud. They're bottom pairing defensemen. It's 6'6" and 6'2". They're a load to play against. And as for goaltending, I'm going to give the slight edge to the Golden Knights as well. Adin has been playing out of his mind. He's looked locked in, and he's using that 6'6" frame finally to his advantage. Now, if Oettinger does get locked in, I could see him being the better goalie. I'm a big Oettinger fan. I watched him a lot in college, but he's been a little bit Jekyll and Hyde this postseason. So who do I think will win? I'm taking the Vegas Golden Knights in 7 games. The Stars have shown the ability to put up a lot of offense. What makes me go with Vegas in 7? I just think Vegas's defense is just a little bit better, and right now they're getting a bit better goaltending from Adin Hill compared to Jake Oettinger. But I would be interested to know your thoughts down below. Who will win the series and how many games? I'm Captain Paul, and I'll see you in the next one.
The Golden Knights have eliminated the Oilers in 6 games to advance to the Western Conference Final.